We're going to get started in just a minute. If you can update your name to show your league right after your name so we can see where everybody's from. Let a few more ladies in, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as women enter, I'll let them in, and that way we can end on time or maybe a little early. So first of all, thank you everybody for letting me reschedule this. I really appreciate y'all giving me some grace on this. I know it's never easy to reschedule something, but the original time was, I was not feeling well. So I'm glad that you were all able to join me today. So what we're going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get this going. Okay, can y'all see my screen? Just someone give me a yeah.
Yes, I can see it.
Wonderful. Thank you. And of course, now I can't remember how to get to the, there we go. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about once you have a speaker and a date, how do you start to get everything out on your training opportunity? And I know some of you know some of this, some of you know others of it, some of you know all of this. So this may be new to you, not new to you. Hopefully I can give you some good nuggets to take away from here, but we're going to be doing, we're going to go right into our agenda here. So you have a speaker and a date. We're going to look at Zoom. We're going to look at Canva. We're going to look at social media. We're going to go back to surveys, and we're going to look at some examples. And then if you have any questions, we can go there as well. So I'm going to start with our Junior League mission, which is the place I always like to start on training opportunities, because I think that it gives everybody a really nice touchstone to the opportunity and a chance to learn the mission. Our mission is new, relatively new. So the more that we can say it over and over again, the more that women will start to internalize it. So we are organizations of women whose mission is to advance women's leadership skills for meaningful community impact through volunteer action, collaboration, and training. Our purpose is exclusively educational and charitable. We reach out to women of all races, religions, and national origins who demonstrate an interest in and commitment to volunteerism. So I want to recap the last training, and if you weren't there and you didn't receive the recording, so if you couldn't be there, you weren't registered, you probably didn't receive the recording, just shoot me an email after this and I'll email you the recording. We reviewed the need to look at your league member demographics and training needs. So as part of this, it's really important that you realize that if you're going to create a good training opportunity, you need to know what your member demographics are and what your training needs are. So you may think you have a wonderful training lined up, and it may end up that you actually don't, that women aren't actually looking for what you think they want. So looking at your member demographics and training needs is always a good place to start. Another thing to do is identify potential speakers in your own league. So a lot of you have women who want to speak, who are subject matter experts on different things, and their speakers just waiting right there to be asked. You want to brainstorm training ideas with your team or with a group of members who are, let's see, let me admit all here. You want to brainstorm training ideas with either a training team if you have it, but if not, try to gather 2 or 3 women who are in your league, maybe a 8-year plus member, maybe a new member, and see if what they're potentially looking at with respect to training needs. Consider targeted surveys. So consider sending out occasional surveys. You don't need to send out a lot, and I would recommend that you don't send out a lot, but send out some targeted ones. Maybe see if you can add a question onto a survey that goes out after a GMM. So after a GMM, your executive vice president might say, hey, we want to send out a survey. And you could say, hey, can I add a question on there that would you like to speak at a training opportunity? Or what kind of a training opportunity would you like to see us put together? You just add one question. Are you going to do a speaker or a panel? That's an important consideration because if you're going to do a panel, you probably need someone to moderate it. And then consider the day and the time. So you've thought about it. You've said, okay, Wednesdays are junior league days when women have a lot of meetings. So maybe Wednesday's not a good day. Maybe we'll do it on Thursday or Tuesday, and we're going to do it at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific. So for the training collaborative, it's always good to think about when you're doing it so that you're not setting up the Pacific, the Western part of the country to not attend at all. Now, we do record them so they can go back and watch it later, but you do want to see if you can get a nice big swath of women who are attending it. So you have a speaker and a date. So what you need to do is you need to set up registration and your training platform. One question you want to ask is how many attendees do you expect? So if you've got just a free Zoom account, then you're going to want to think about how many attendees do we expect. For the training collaborative, for example, we've been getting anywhere from 40 to over 100. So you want to make sure that you can at least have that many on your platform. You want to set up promotional materials. How do you want to reach that audience? So maybe you just want to reach them through your e-blast or your newsletter out to your members. Maybe you want to put it up on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. How do you want to reach that audience? And then you need to set up a follow-up plan. So you've got a speaker, you've got a date, you've got everything done. How are you going to follow up with the women who attend? And how are you going to make sure that that speaker wants to come back at a different time and do something else for you? So using Zoom, you can get a basic plan. I would recommend you can reach out to Zoom and look at their nonprofit options, but I would get a basic plan that's not the free plan because the free plan will only let you do 45-minute meetings. And most training opportunities are really good for an hour. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got Zoom set up so that you can use, so that you have an hour. You want to set up the registration in the platform, and I'll show you how to do that. You want to get through reports throughout the lead up to the training. I can show you how to do that and get a recording after the training opportunity, which what you do is you just go down to set it up so that you get recording to the cloud and make sure you don't want to have that recording on your computer. So you want to record it to the cloud. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to stop this share and I'm going to go back in and share. Let's see. Go back. You know what? I need to exit out of this training. Okay. Now I'm going to go over to Zoom. So I'm assuming, unless I hear otherwise, you are now looking at my Zoom and you can see my meetings here. Someone come off mute and tell me you can see Zoom.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I may ask you to do that every time. So I just want to make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. So when you go in to set up Zoom, when you go in to set up your meetings, you're going to schedule a meeting. So what I normally do is I set it up Training Collaborative. And I'm going to say test meeting. So this is what the title is. This is what everyone will see. This is what you'll see when they sign up. They'll see Training Collaborative test meeting. Let's say I'm going to schedule it on the 19th. I'm going to schedule it 5 p.m. I'm going to go an hour and a half because I just want to make sure I give everybody some time. And I'm going to show it in Pacific time, but wherever you are, just set it up for your time zone, and then it'll work itself out. And then what you want to do is you want to go to registration and you want to go required. That's really important. So you want to make sure that you get registration required because you want that list of registrants. And then you save. And it'll pull up, this is the registration link. So this isn't the Zoom link, this is the registration link. This is what you will include in your social media and in your newsletter so that women register through this. If you're using Member Essentials, what you're going to want to do is tell women when they sign up to put it on their league calendar that they also register using this link. Now, you have one more step you need to do. You go within this meeting, you go to registration. And so now registration options, you want to go to edit. So now you want to send it. I always send an email to host. It creates a lot of emails because you get to see everyone who's joining, but you want to know that women are signing up for this event. So I always click on send an email to host. And now this is the important part. Go to questions and go down to the bottom. So it's going to ask for the last name. That's going to be required. And you want to go down here and click add question. And then I always say, what is your junior league? And this way I can capture that information for the leagues that need to know who attended and who registered. Now you want to make sure you hit save here. So I'm going to hit save. So it's going to add this, what is your junior league and last name. And then you hit save all. And that's all you need to do. And now you're set up. So now when you go out to do your social media, you want to copy this link, and that gets copied to your social media for women to register. And when they register, they'll give you their name, they'll give you their junior league, and they will get their own Zoom link. So in this situation, you want to encourage women to sign up individually. You don't want them forwarding their Zoom link to other people because they're all going to come in as that person. And that's kind of weird. Okay, so now you've got your meeting set up. Now what you do, if you want to go in and see, well, how many attendees or how many registrants do I have? So you go down here to reports. Excuse me. You go to meeting. And you want to select the date. So I'm going to go back to September 1st. Obviously no one has signed up for this test meeting yet. So I'm just going to go back and show you how you would do this. So you want to set up the date where that meeting is. So if the meeting is on the 19th, you want to say like 9/1 to 9/19 or 9/18 to 9/19. And then you hit search. And so right now it's showing me the registration for tonight's training, the registration for the Tame Your Calendar event, and the registration for the Dare to League book club. So what I do, if I want to see who registered for tonight's training, I go to generate. I want all registrants, continue. And then it's going to take me to this download page. And sometimes you need to refresh it because sometimes it will drop an earlier report in there, just like it did right there. When I emailed you today, I generated an earlier report. And now you're going to click on download and it will open your file in Excel. And there you go. So now I can see Jessica Buono registered. This is her email. She's from Junior League of the Woodlands and she's the comms VP. So I asked for league placement here on this one, which you can usually do if that's something that you want to know. So now these are the women who registered for the event. So now I'm just going to not save that. So now I'm going to go back to reports. And now I want to go to usage because now I want to see, okay, all those women registered, who showed up? So I'm going to search 9/1 to 9/12 again. All right. So now I can go in and I can see 33 participants actually showed up. They'll tell me when they joined, when they left, how long they were on. So basically, if someone just taps in and taps out, you're going to know that. Like, for example, Lauren may have had some trouble connecting. So she tapped in for a minute and then maybe she came back later. So you see like here, Victoria came in for a minute and then went out and then came back in and was here for 64 minutes, which is the duration of the training. Lauren did the same thing. So you see her showing up right here. So that's going to be the way to go in and look at who attended, who didn't attend, so that you can say to someone who said, well, I registered, say, yeah, but you never showed up. And then you can go in and find your recordings here. So right now we're processing this recording, but you can see I taped all of these and those are there. So Zoom gives you a really nice way to go in and set up your meeting, set up a registration link. That's free. So you don't have to worry about going through something like Eventbrite or another platform. And this is the platform you're going to run your meeting on. So it's really nice. It keeps everything together. And depending on your league, if you can get a professional account, I would recommend it. But if you can't, just go for basic Zoom and then you just have to manage it a little bit. So now we've set up using Zoom. You've got your registration link. You're going to start building out your social media. You see how you can get reports that lead up to the training, and you can get a recording after the training opportunity. All of that is through Zoom. And I just want to say, I have no affiliation with Zoom, so I'm not saying Zoom is the end all be all. I'm just saying it works for me, and this is what I've found is the easiest solution. So now we're going to go on to Canva. So you've got everything you need to build out your social media. Now you need to build out your social media. Again, I have no affiliation with Canva. I've used it for about 4 years. I like it. If someone showed me a better way, I'd probably say, okay, I'll try it. But what I like is that most templates and items are free. You can set up folders to make it easier to reuse your graphics, and you can upload your league logo set and photos. So I'm going to take you over to Canva. I'm assuming that since you could see Zoom, you can now see my Canva. Someone give me a shout out. Say yes. Woo! Woo! Nice. So you can see here, it's got recent designs. Now what I've done is I built out a training collaborative training. Now this is the old one, 26 junior leagues. So you see what I can do is I can go in now and I can say, you know what, I need to edit that because now we have 86. So we've got 86 junior leagues. Now, most of you saw the September 2024 training opportunities graphic I put out. All I did was I just copied this because I wanted the same color. And then I just took out the graphics there and created this. Here's one that I did in gold. So I've got 84. Now we're onboarding 2 new leagues tomorrow. So we'll have 86. So I can update that. So what you're seeing here is that I've been able to build out these different Canva opportunities. So these squares are really nice because they fit really well in Instagram. They look good on Facebook. And then you can start to play with them a little bit. So here's one that I did where I just set it up so that the graphic is, you can drop anything you want in here and you can have your league on one side, the training collaborative junior league on the other. And then I put our league website down here, but you could really do this anyway. What we do ask with the training collaborative, and I'll show you some examples, is we do ask on your social media that you do put somewhere training collaborative of junior leagues. That is actually a registered trademark right now. I just got that registered for us. And then you're welcome to put your own league logo on the side. And then you can see that I've gone in and I've copied some things and made some changes. So this one on effective teams, which I'll show you in the example section, you can see here the Junior League of Palo Alto Mid-Peninsula with their league address right there, and then the Training Collaborative of Junior Leagues right here. So I'm not married to this dark red. As a matter of fact, I like changing it up because I think it makes us look individual and I think it gives us a chance to work on it. You can easily see what I did here was I took the effective teams graphic and I copied it, which you duplicate the page to create this graphic. They look very much alike. And this is the one for Google Workspace that we did in June that many of you attended, many of your leagues attended. And you can see the Junior League of Morristown put their logo right there. So we're not even married to a specific style of logo. Every league really has their own logo package that they like to use. But we do always like to have a picture of our speaker, the basic information, and then kind of a description of it with a brief bio. That's always a nice way to do it. Now, if you're going to do this on Instagram, I would consider creating something that leaves this part off, because Instagram, if you're on your phone, you're not going to be able to read all of that. So you want to make this a little bigger, the picture a little bigger, and kind of shuffle things around a little bit. So you can see again, I copied it and did The Warmth of Other Suns, the book that we read last February. So you can see here, once you build out a graphic that you like, feel free to reuse it. All you have to do is come up here and hit duplicate page, and duplicates the page, and then you just go in and take out and add what you need and what you don't need. This is one that I did as part of this package to say, hey, if your league wants to announce you're part of the training collaborative, you can change, like the Junior League of whatever city is excited to be a part of the training collaborative. This partnership is this, because what I get, and I mean, my league created the training collaborative, and we still have women in our league who are like, I don't know what that is. And so I don't expect any of you to have league members that go, oh, the training collaborative, I know exactly what that is. So we created this in a way that league members, women who are in the training collaborative, could put this together and put this in your newsletter or on your social media or on your forward public social media. And this is one that I was playing around with where I just wanted to do a little logo, the Training Collaborative of Junior Leagues. So you can see, you can really start to play around with it. And the way you build that out is it's one of those things where you really just have to kind of, here's what I did. I started with this stay inspired, never stop creating. Let's see, add as a new page. So you see the stars. You saw where I got my inspiration from. And then I took this out and I took this out and I changed this background to red and I changed these stars to gold, and then boom, there I've got it. Or yeah, there I have it right there. So it makes it kind of easy to use. Once you start playing around with it, you can start to, you go in, for example, and I can search stars. Night sky with stars, stars and moons. So you can start to go in and then you see like different pictures that they've already got built out here, and you can take elements from those. You don't have to use the same one. You can change the background. You can change a lot of that. A lot of this is free in Canva. They'll tell you when it's a Canva Pro event that you're getting ready to set up, and then you just have to make the decision, does my league want Canva Pro, or are we going to just stay with the free version? And like I said, the free version is perfectly fine. And I like to do them in squares like this because this makes it really easy for Instagram. It's really easy to upload on Facebook, whether you have a public facing Junior League page or whether you have an internal page or both. This also makes it super easy to put up on your league website. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you my league website, because I gave you guys this text earlier in the year, but I want to make sure that you know that you can put it on your page. So this is our forward public facing websites, and you can see it's on Member Essentials. Members can go in. So under Community Impact, we've added the Training Collaborative as its own standalone page. And this text, you all are free to rip off. So I'm going to change this graphic because that's not right anymore. But right here, we walk you through it. The training collaborative started in 2021. Our junior league mission is this. This is how we realized how important this was. And these are our training opportunities this year. And then at the bottom, because I'm always thinking about recruitment, if you're a league that wants to learn more about the collaborative, contact me here. If you're a woman who wants to learn more about joining the Junior League of Orange County, please email here. Because you never know when a woman out there who's thinking about joining your league sees something like this and it's like, wow, I can get, wait, you're telling me I can join leagues from all over the country? I can get training for free? This is amazing. Where do I join? And so you want to make sure that this is public facing as well, because you want to let women know out there in the world, we're giving you something that no other organization in the world is going to give their members. And I say that with a certain degree of confidence that we are one of the only organizations in the world that does this for their members. And so you want women to see that and go, wow, that's amazing. So you can upload your league logo set and photos. You can just upload them right into Canva and then you can drop them into graphics. It's really easy to do. And like the thing that, if I had my president account when I was president, I could show you a little better, but you can set up folders. So you can set up a folder for your fundraising event. You can set up a folder for the training collaborative. You can set up a personal folder, and then it just makes it easy for you to go in and reuse graphics from earlier members and earlier leaders. When you pass that account down, the account's tied to the email. So if you're currently communications VP or you're currently marketing VP, the next marketing VP will pick that Canva account up and she'll already have that stuff built in there. So now using social media. So this is something that I think is complicated. So I'm going to start with point 5 first. You need to find out what your members are using. You can't get in a situation where you're like, well, we're going to use Facebook and we're going to use Instagram and that's it. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, there's probably like 15, maybe 20 different social media platforms out there, maybe more. I mean, by now there could be 100. You got to find out what your members use. So that's a good time for a survey. Maybe tag it along on your first GMM. Yeah, if they do a follow-up survey after the GMM, tag it on to see if you can add a question. What's your favorite social media? Or what are your top 3 favorite social media? Get them to write it in, use some check boxes, whatever, but you need to find out what they're using because you want this information to get there. So you want to use your social media for information purposes, obviously, and to generate excitement. Now, I think what you have to figure out, though, is this training opportunity something you want to put on the public? Like if you have a public Facebook page or Instagram, like anyone can see your Instagram. Do you want to put it out there to drive traffic for your members? What are you trying to get? If this is a training opportunity, you're looking at, hey, we want to really make this for our members. So maybe our internal Facebook page, our private Facebook page is where we want to put it. But you could also say this training opportunity is going to be for members, but we're also going to open it up to prospective new members. And in that case, I think you want to put it on your public facing social media. I think Instagram is always a really nice choice just because I love it when I go into my Instagram and I see what leagues are doing. It gives me ideas. I like their stuff. It shows that your league is busy and doing things. And it also gives members and potential members a sense of FOMO, like fear of missing out. So they see what's going on and they're like, wow, I'd really love to go to that. I need to go to that. How do I get to that? So using social media to kind of drive that traffic, I think is really important. So you want to inspire members to use it and to sign up. So I will go in, let's see. And I keep dropping out of the slideshow. I hope you aren't desperately wanting to see it in slideshow mode. But I set up the Training Collaborative at Junior League's Facebook page. We're already up to 280 members. So these are 280 women who have signed up to get information through here. So what this allows me to do is get information out to these 280 women who in a different way. So yes, they go to their league website. Yes, they are on Instagram. Yes, they're on Facebook, but this is just another way to get them information. So you can see down here, I put up the part 2 of the Leadership Book Club, Dare to Lead. I said, sign up and join the discussion here. So they can just join from this point. They don't need to go into Member Essentials. I mean, obviously you do want them to go there, but this is just another way to get this information out there. The same with the September training opportunities. I dropped this there. So you really want to try to find as many ways to reach women, but I got to be honest, if you get caught up in, oh, we've got to put it on every piece of social media, you're going to have a social media team that rivals your training team. So you really need to kind of be targeted and understand what your goal is with your social media. What are you trying to get out of it? So again, what do they use? There are tons of ways to get information to members. So you just need to figure that out. And like I said, it's always a good time for a survey. And then check out the Training Collaborative page. I just showed it to you. If you're not signed up for the Training Collaborative page, you can sign up. Just go in, search it under groups and request to be added, and I will add you. All right, so going back to a little bit of social media, Facebook League versus public, you really want to figure out, is this a training that's public? Like, do we want to show off that we're having this training? But if we put it out on the public website, is the public going to assume that they can attend? Well, maybe not. I mean, if it's not open to the public, then you probably want to keep it off your public social media. You probably want to put it somewhere where your members can see it and where your members can engage and where potential new members can engage. So Instagram is great. Slack is great. Slack has its own pros and cons. It's almost like working in a workspace as opposed to social media, but Slack is a good way to get information out there. And are there others? And again, another opportunity for a member survey. What do they use? Maybe younger women in your league are using one thing and older women in your league are using something else. And that's very good for you to know. What are they using? So surveys. Here's what I did for the Tame Your Calendar survey. So now you've planned your training, you've planned your logistics, you've got it on Zoom, you set up your registration, you've gone into Canva, you set up your social media, you're ready to have your training. You contacted all the registrants to remind them of the training, much like what I did today. It's just a simple email where you just email the registrants and say, hey girl, we've got this training today. I just want to remind you. And that sometimes gets women to be like, oh yeah, that's right. I signed up for that. Now you've done your training and you need to get information back. So I'm going to take you to the survey that I do in Forms. This survey has a lot of things that I really love about it. The first thing is that it's the same survey for every training opportunity. And what I mean by that is you're never going to get good data if you don't ask the same questions. So you got to ask the same questions. So what I tell members of what I tell other leagues is if you are getting ready to do a training collaborative training, and you have another question that you want us to put in the survey, that's fine. We can add that question. But the basic questions are going to be the same. So what I can do in this is I can go up. This is in Forms. So this is in Google, this is in your G Suite. This is what I set up in Forms. And so now I can see I've got the Tame Your Calendar one right there. So now I'm going to go back to, well, where did that go? Let's go back to it. There we go. So now all I have to do is go up and make a copy if I wanted to start a new one. Oh, make a copy. So here. Let me move here. Make a copy, and then it'll make a copy of this, and I can start with a new survey. And then what I can do is I can say, thank you for attending me, and I can put in the new training opportunity, the name, provided as part of the training collaborative and hosted by, this one was hosted by the Junior League of Boise. And then you want to thank women and let them know this brief survey is invaluable to us and it lets us know what's informative and engaging. So now I ask, what's your junior league? Now you may not need to ask this question if the survey is just for your junior league. Would you recommend this training opportunity to a friend or another JL member? That's really important, because if they say no, then maybe don't do that training again. If the answer was no, please consider elaborating. And then always say, we're looking to improve the experience for the attendees. What did you enjoy most about this training opportunity? Is there one thing we can do to improve the training opportunity or experience for you? Is there a topic you'd like to see added? And then if you've got a theme for the year, put the theme there. Maybe that sparks them to say something. And then I added, what competency or competencies do you most want to work on this year? And I put the AJLI competencies here because I'm really interested in seeing what women want to work on. Is there anything else you would like us to know? So for the Tame Your Calendar survey, I got 15 responses, which is actually pretty good. That was probably 25 to 30% of the women who attended. So now I can go in and I can see where their junior leagues are from. 100% would recommend this training to another friend or junior league member. That is impressive, because I don't think I've gotten 100% yet. What did you enjoy the most? You know, go in and read it. Give this feedback to the speakers. Speakers love this kind of feedback. Is there one thing we can do to improve the process? Is there a topic you'd like to see added? And this is great because it gives you like accountability, finances, how to speak up, how to get folks engaged, specific skills. What competencies do they want to work on? A lot of women want to work on leadership. Then you've got strategic perspective, initiative, resourcefulness, and accountability, and communication. That's bringing up that's like second. And then you've got here critical thinking, commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and global perspective. So this is great information, because if you're a training team and you're looking at planning future trainings, or if you're a league in the collaborative and you're like, well, what do women want to learn about? Well, these women want to work on these competencies. And then obviously, is there anything else you'd like us to know? Someone says it's my first training and I really enjoyed it. That's good information. This is all information you can use. And you're asking the same questions over and over. So for example, you're not screwing up your data set by asking different questions after each training. You're asking the same questions. So you should be getting information that aligns well. So you should be able to see what women are liking and what they don't like. Okay. So now some examples. So I showed you this one from Canva. These are all from Canva. So I'm putting this out there because I just want to show you how different Canva can be, how you can start to use things, and how no one in the training collaborative is asking you to do things identical to anyone else. So there are a lot of options here for how you want to do it. We just asked for a couple of things. So this one I love because this one's great for Facebook, not so great for Instagram. So if you're going to do Instagram, I would take out all of this text here, move this down, reorganize these pictures a bit. But here you can see Training Collaborative of Junior Leagues, Junior League of Orange County. So we've got the Training Collaborative mentioned. We've got the league, the host league mentioned. And this is a really nice graphic in that it's not similar to the one that I just showed you, but it still is simple and gets the point across. These again are different. So you can see they put the Training Collaborative of Junior Leagues up at the top. The Junior League of Dayton and Fort Wayne did this training last year. You can see the save the date. So this looks very different than the one we just had. And it looks very different from this one over here, What a Tangled Web. This one was Pittsburgh and Omaha. So we're saying just be creative, make it look good, make it look like something you would want to go to. That's the way I always try to do it. I always look at it and say, do I want to go to this event based on what I put together here? This one, the Junior League of York did, again, super simple, training collaborative up at the top, elevating your personal brand, creating your personal brand that elevates the Junior League brand. Great. This one over here is Orange County and Seattle, training collaborative junior leagues right up at the top, advocacy. So you've got a really nice picture here of Kendra and a nice small description here. So this could be good for Instagram, although the registration link and all of that needs to be pulled out into the social media post. I really like this one over on the left, the Junior League of Fresno did. It's something that, so this was, they put it in the collaborative, but it was not a collaborative event. Fresno had already done it, but they were like, you know what, we're doing this. We want to open this up to the collaborative. So they sent us this graphic, and this was a really nice conversation with Kate. And I love this graphic just because it's simple and it's inviting and it's colorful and it's fantastic. This is the one I showed you in Canva, effective teams, leading them and being a part of them. The emotional intelligence training. This one, again, is something that the Junior League of Los Angeles put together. They said it's part of the Junior League Training Collaborative. This was something, this was our very first training in 2022 that was opened up to the collaborative. And then you can start to see that some of the graphics are starting to get copied. Like this is the same one, the same graphic, but this one is with Sarah. This one I really liked, motivating a volunteer army. This graphic is simple, easy to read, but probably not great for Instagram. It'd be fantastic for Facebook. So for Instagram, you're going to want to like shrink that down a little bit, take some of the wording out, and really focus on the picture and the title and the date, and where you can get your ticket, so to speak, or where you can register. Again, San Jose did their own training here on generational inclusion. So you can see that the Junior League of San Jose presented this. This was done in our first year. Then this is the graphic that I showed you from the Warmth of Other Suns in Canva. So it looks a lot like the one that we did for Angela Cusack's training, but I just dropped in different wording. So now I'm going to stop our screen share. And I am going to ask, are there any questions or comments? Free to come off mic, or you could drop it in the chat, either way.
I have a quick question. Thank you so much for this. This was super helpful. I was wondering, I'm with the Junior League of Annapolis here in Maryland, and we haven't done any surveys in the past, and that's something we feel really strongly about this time. Are you able to share a template for those surveys out with the training collaborative?
Yes. So one of the things that I have is an ask out to our EVP. She's the one who put together what I call these surveylets or little surveys that she does after events. So what she does is for all of our GMMs at the end of the GMM slide deck. So when you're doing your slide deck at your GMM, she'll have a QR code that you can scan right from your phone. And the survey is set up so that she asks, hey, everybody, take a couple of minutes and do the survey right now. And it's usually like 4 or 5 questions. But what I will do is I have an ask out to her to see if she can send me her Google form that she uses for that. And I would say, you know, when you're building a survey, and we've done this before when I was president and when I worked with membership, some leagues just want to do a big annual survey, and that's fine. An annual survey is great. If you do an annual survey, you really want everyone to contribute a question that's in leadership. And then you want to go through those questions and make sure you're not asking for the same information a different way. Does that make sense? Like you're not saying, like you're not asking, for example, what's your zip code? Because your zip code's in Member Essentials. So I don't really need to know your zip code in a survey. What you're really trying to get out of the survey is what information can I get that's not in Member Essentials? The way that we decided to do that is, so we had, I think, pretty good response with our annual surveys that we sent out. We decided to start breaking them up into smaller surveylets that are survey-ites, however you want to look at it, bites, after GMMs and after training events. And so we started sending it out. So those questions, there may only be like 5 or 6 questions, and they're designed to be filled out on your phone and easy to fill out. You know, you don't have like long rambling questions of tell me one thing you learned from this. Although you could put that in there, but women are typing stuff on their phones. So you really want to try to see if you can get a balance of information versus respecting women's time and their ability to kind of type this stuff out on their phone. And you want to capture them while they're right there. So you don't want them going home and doing it on their computer. You can email it out to them, but you really want to get them when they're in the moment and thinking about what they just listened to. So I've become a bigger fan of doing smaller bite-sized surveys that go throughout the year. And what I'll do is I'll see what my EVP can send along, and I'll put them in PDF form and then send them out when I send out the recording for everybody, if that'll help. Will that help, Nina?
Be great. Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. So Simone, yeah, so past trainings. This is something that, you know how we have that one thing that we know that if we just went in and did it, it would take us 30 minutes, but we just haven't done it yet. We keep putting it off. That's me and these past trainings. I have all the recordings. I have them. I have a YouTube channel set up and ready to go. I just need to go in and learn how to upload them to YouTube and get them set up in a private YouTube channel that we can all access. That's on me. And that's something that now I've got some women in our league. We use a pool approach. So on our membership committee, we have, oh, thank you, Simone. We had, I'm going to reach out. We have a pool approach, and now I've got my pool members that are going to help with the training collaborative. So I'm hoping that someone there can also help me get this project started. It's something I know I desperately need to do. It's just, learning how to do that. Thank you. I'll definitely keep that in mind, Simone. So yeah, so we do have that. And basically, what we're going to do is once we get the library built, and part of this, and I'm not shifting accountability at all for this, but I just want to give you a little bit kind of inside baseball, is I've been talking with AJLI about how they can support the training collaborative. So I've been talking with the association about how they can support us. And one of the things I've mentioned is, hey, you have this big, beautiful website. Is there a way that we can put our videos right onto your website and put it there? And part of that was a discussion we were in last year. And then they went, as you may or may not have known, updated their website, changed the whole thing. So it's one of those things where I didn't want to go through and set up the YouTube channel and then have them come in and say, yeah, we can put it all on AJLI, and then we've just duplicated our work. What I'm beginning to realize is that I think it's going to be a longer process to get it up on AJLI's website. So I need to go ahead and do it on my side on YouTube. So Simone, I'll circle back with you on that. And I may loop in a couple of women from my league just so that we can all get training on how to do this. All right, anyone else? All right, ladies, I will be sending out a recording along with some resources later this week. So it won't be tonight, but it'll be later this week. I'll also drop in the link to the first training that we did back in July on the same topic. That was the first part of this. So that if you weren't there, you can go back and watch it again. And other than that, have a really great evening and thank you. And then if you want to join our Dare to Lead book club or have members who want to do that, the next training is next week, along with the storytelling training put on by the Junior League in Miami. And those links can be found in your shared spreadsheet. So thank you very much, you guys, and I appreciate your time, and have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, Sandra.